Good evening, everyone. This is the Springfield Planning Board meeting for Wednesday, December 16th. I have to look at my phone because I don't remember dates anymore. Phil, if you would do roll call, we'll start the meeting.
Mr. Cunningham,
Here.
Mr. Minio,
Here.
Mr. Daniele,
Here.
Ms. Moran, absent, Ms. DiFilippo,
Here,
Mr. Florian,
Here.
Ms. McQuaid,
Here.
and Ms. Choi.
Here.
All righty, so we do have a quorum. I'll
okay.
keep an eye out for Rosemary.
If you would read the first and only continued hearing.
Yeah, under continued hearing, zone change number 3218, address Main Street, State Street, Court Street, Harrison Avenue, Dwight Street, Willow Street, and Union Street. It's for the proposed Main Street and Convention Center Overlay District, the petitioner's Springfield Planning Board. I did make a presentation at the last meeting, just for the board's information. I have not received any additional comments, either from the abutters or from the owners. The only call I received was from the gentleman who owns the building on the corner of State and Main, which is known as in the city as the Chicken Building. But he did not issue any concerns. He just wanted to get an idea of what it was. So I don't know if the board has any specific questions. Again, it's an overlay district that's going to be along those streets of Main Street to kind of kickstart some economic development projects for the city as part of the the larger MGM development. Again, the overlay will kind of relax some of the underlying guidelines and allow encouraged uses to move forward in an expedited site plan review, and other uses that are considered encouraged would trigger a higher level of review. So again, I kind of went through it last time. I don't know if the board has any specific questions, but
do any of the board members have any questions?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
yeah, and again, we'll keep an eye, we'll, as we do with all zoning, we'll keep an eye to make sure that it's not doing something we didn't intend it to do. So certainly not going to automatically start economic development projects, but we think it's a tool that can be used as part of the larger economic development that the city of Springfield is putting together. And this,
All right.
just one last thing, this is ultimately, the planning board will make a recommendation, and then we'll go before the city council at the end of January. I don't know that meeting date yet because they haven't been set, but it requires another public hearing in front of the city council.
Well, hearing no other questions or concerns, I'd accept a motion to close the hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the hearing.
Thank you,
Second.
Jen. And who was that, Luca?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Phil, if you do roll call.
On the motion to close the hearing, Mr. Cunningham,
Yes.
Mr. Minio,
Yes.
Mr. Daniele,
Yes.
Moran, absent, Ms. DiFilippo,
Yes.
Mr. Florian,
Yes.
McQuaid. Ms. McQuaid. You hear
You
that?
guys hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay, I froze. It's saying my internet is unstable.
So are you voting in favor, Jennifer?
Yes.
Okay, and Ms. Choi?
Yes.
So the hearing is closed.
Okay, I would accept a motion to, on regarding the Main Street and Convention Center Overlay District.
I would make the motion. I don't have anything in front of me, though.
It's just a, it's
Just a-
for
Just to
those,
approve.
it's just a motion to approve.
Okay, then I make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Jennifer
And
seconded.
Just
Phil, if
before
you
we go to, am I allowed to vote on this because I wasn't present at the last meeting, Phil?
Yeah, I think as long as you review the tape. I mean,
Okay, yeah, I did.
yeah, so I think you and Chelsea should be okay to vote.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
So it was motion to approve, seconded, voting in favor, Mr. Cunningham,
Yes.
Mr. Minio,
Yes.
Mr. Daniele,
Yes.
Ms. Moran, absent, Ms. DiFilippo,
Yes.
Mr. Florian,
Yes.
Ms. McQuaid,
Yes.
and Ms. Choi.
Yes.
Okay, so that does it for the public hearings. Just under the other items, I'm going to turn it over to Alvin. As I emailed you probably a week or so ago, was a couple copies of a preliminary plans for 2 new historic districts. Those simply need to be submitted to the planning board. It does not require a vote. It's a step that needs to be taken in order to trigger the next step of the process. I'm just going to have Alvin quickly talk about the 2, and then we'll get you out of here.
Okay, good evening, everyone. So I'll just go over both districts. The first district is the All Saints Local Historic District. This particular property is located on Oakland Street. It's adjacent to the Forest Park Public Library. It's also across from the Forest Park Middle School, and also adjacent to the existing Forest Park Heights Local Historic District. What makes this particular district significant is that it was the church of the founder of Springfield, William Pynchon. And it's also, I believe, a replica of a church in England, which was his childhood church. So that's kind of the historic background behind it. And so because it's received monies from the Community Preservation Committee, it's being required to seek status of a local historic district status.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the first one. So the second item is the gun block. And the gun block, as I have heard or know it, is the oldest commercial block that still stands in Springfield. So it's historic significance. It sits on State Street on the same side as the former Kavanaugh building across from the Springfield Technical Community College campus. It's right on the corner of State and Walnut. Like I said, again, it's the oldest commercial block still standing in Springfield. It's currently owned by Develop Springfield, and also they've received funds from the CPC for rehabilitation to keep the building upright.
Does anyone have any questions of Alvin?
So again, this does not require any vote. So it's just an informational packet that's submitted to the planning board. Again, the process will then, once the preliminary report is reviewed, final report is then submitted and submitted to the Mass Historical Commission, and then ultimately would need to be approved by the Springfield City Council as well as the mayor. So we're getting a little more of these districts, so they're kind of popping up all over the place, but this is kind of a standard process we've been using.
Okay. Do we have any other business?
The only other business I just wanted to quickly run through is timing of the meetings. I kind of got a mixed bag of folks who are looking. We moved up the meetings because of the Zooms to 5:30. I just wanted to make sure I'm trying to accommodate as everybody as possible, but I kind of got a mix of some people liking them where it is, and I know a couple of the members have been having trouble getting to the meeting, so I just wanted to see if there was a vote from the planning board on whether we continue at 5:30 or whether we move back to 6 o'clock. It really doesn't matter to me. I like the earlier time, but I want to accommodate the board members. So I've set it up next year for 5:30, but that can change. So I just wanted to, because the Zoom meetings, as far as I know, are going to continue probably months. So I don't see us meeting face to face before probably summer, I would think. But I just wanted to get a feel for the board on whether which direction you want to go, stick with what we have or move back. So I don't know if anybody wants to.
Either time works for me.
And either time.
What did you say, Leo?
I said either time works for me.
Same for me. So that's 3. How about you, Rico?
Yeah, I'm okay. I just run from the store and I
Yeah,
gotta go back and clean up. But I like it at 5:30. I guess it makes it a little easier to get home a little earlier.
And I'm also indifferent, so whatever time works best for everybody.
5:30 is fine for me, but 6 is okay too, so no difference.
Okay,
So I'm
Well-
still working. I'm still working in the office and commuting and working full hours. So, I mean, my day doesn't really end at 5 or 5:30, but if that's what works for everybody, I can, try to accommodate. I know there's a calendar that goes out in advance, but when I'm scheduling arbitrations or hearings or other things, it can be a challenge. That's all. But if it works for everybody, then I will stick with 5:30.
okay, thank you, Chelsea. Why don't we
Alright.
stick 5:30, Phil?
And then obviously if things change, it's not an issue to change the time. If people start having trouble making the 5:30, I can, I'm the one who sets up the Zoom meeting, so and it can be changed relatively quickly if you guys needed to. So Chelsea, if you find and you can't, something is happening, just let me know. But other than that, I wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. And also at this point, because City Hall is actually closed tomorrow, that was the deadline for the January 6th meeting. So at this point, there is no tabled items and there is no new items. So there will not be a January 6th planning board hearing. The next one would be January 20th. So. again-
No non-subs?
Oh, I forgot about those. That's all right. I'll deal with those.
Okay.
They're all pretty straightforward. So what I'll do is just give the copies to the people that are waiting, and I'll have you guys approve them on the 20th.
Okay,
I meant to, because I forgot to scan them. So
all right,
we'll
no
do that on
problem.
the 20th. It's not it's really kind of more of a formality. So
All right, well, before we close the meeting, I wish everyone happy holidays. Stay safe and drive carefully if you're out. And I will accept a motion to close the hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the hearing.
Thank
I'll
you, Luca.
second.
Second, all those in favor, raise your hands.
Aye.
all right,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you,
Merry
everyone.
Christmas.
See you next year.
Happy
Merry
New Year.
Christmas.